A disturbing, true sleepover story. They say the scariest things aren't the ones you can see. They're the ones that only show up when you're too tired to run. Tonight's story comes from a man who almost lost the love of his life to something standing in the corner of her bedroom. Whether you believe in shadow people or not, by the end of this, you might not want to sleep with the lights off. This is a true sleepover story. 5 years ago, I got out of a serious relationship. I had been with her for almost a decade. We started dating in high school and stayed together through college and beyond. I feel like high school sweethearts rarely work out in the end. For the first time in a long time, I was going to try dating. I had no idea how to even date as an adult, so I did what a lot of people did and downloaded some dating apps. I went on a few dates with a few different women, but they went nowhere. That changed when I met Jojo. Her name was Josephina, but she hated it, so she went by Jojo. We started talking and taking things slow because we both got out of long-term relationships. Not long into our brand new relationship, she was asking me to sleep over at her place. At first, I turned down the invitation because I like taking it slow, and sleeping over was a huge step for me. She kept asking me almost every day if I would sleep over, even going as far as telling me I could take the couch if I was uncomfortable. I finally asked her why she wanted me to stay over so badly. She got quiet and almost looked embarrassed. She said she didn't want to tell me the reason, but it would mean the world if I stayed. I told her I would stay only if she told me the reason, and I promised I wouldn't judge her. A promise that I was about to break in about 2 minutes. She went on to tell me that for the last few weeks, she hasn't been able to sleep well. She would wake up in the middle of the night and swear she could see someone standing in the corner of her bedroom. She originally thought it was just shadows. Darkness has a way of playing tricks on our eyes. But when she would wake up in the morning, that corner with the shadow was empty, and nothing around the room looked like it could make a person-shaped shadow. Over the few weeks that followed, she said that she had become even more scared. She said she couldn't even get out of bed if she wanted to. She slept on the couch one night, and when she woke up in the middle of the night, the shadow figure was standing in a doorway. She was convinced she was going crazy. The night before she told me all this, she threw a stuffed animal at the shadow to prove that she wasn't crazy. But instead of the stuffed animal just hitting the wall, it hit the shadow, and the figure moved slightly. Part of me felt bad. She was practically in tears when she was telling me all this. I wasn't lying when I said I was about to break the promise of not judging her. I have a bad habit of turning things into jokes in serious moments to cope with my awkward emotions, and in this situation, humor failed. I smiled and told her that it had to be the monster under her bed. She was even more upset by that comment. She went on to say that this is why she didn't want to tell me, because she knew that I would think she was crazy. I told her I didn't think she was crazy and that there was most definitely some kind of rational explanation. I suggested that maybe it was some type of sleep paralysis. I remember hearing stories of people seeing shadow entities, but she was convinced that it wasn't that. I told her to try sleeping with the light on. If the light were super bright, then no shadow monsters can form. She told me that she tried that, and instead of seeing a shadow in the corner of her room, the closet door cracked open on its own, and the shadow was in the closet. I hate to say this and sound like an insensitive jerk, but I was starting to think that Jojo was a little crazy. It's not that I didn't believe her, it's that I didn't believe she was seeing a shadow monster or whatever. In my opinion, there's always an explanation for the unexplainable. In an effort to do some damage control for my monster under the bed comment, I agreed to stay over that night. It was like 8 o'clock that night, and she was already falling asleep on the couch during the movie we were watching. She was exhausted from not sleeping well for the last few weeks. I remember having a fleeting thought that maybe Jojo was hallucinating from lack of sleep. I decided not to wake her up since she looked so uncomfortable. She was dead asleep, fully extended on the couch, and I was sitting up right next to her head, playing with her hair. I suggested calling the police, and she claimed that it wouldn't do anything. She insisted that it was some paranormal entity. I wasn't sure what it was. I was freaked out in the moment, but now that it was gone, I had calmed down and was trying to find a rational solution. I didn't call the police and I helped Jojo clean the room. She stayed at my apartment for a few nights after our first eventful sleepover. When we finally went back to her place, I agreed to stay over and there was no shadowy figure. When she finally stayed home alone for the first time, she said she slept through the night without any encounters. 5 years later, and I'm engaged to Jojo now, and we still mash heads with each other over that night. She's convinced that it was a supernatural entity, and I'm convinced that it isn't. The one thing we do agree on is whatever it was definitely there. I witnessed it with my own eyes and ears. I often think to myself, what would be scarier if a shadow monster was in her place or if a person was just there watching her sleep? Either way, I'm happy it never happened again. At least, not yet.